Post-game comments after last night's 3-2 win over the Astros. Robin Ventura said there were some good things that happened that you like to see coming out of the break. And to the reporters after the game with a smile on his face, Tyler Flowers said of his game-winning RBI in the 7th inning, "It's nice to see you all back." It was a solid start in the first effort, post-Midsummer Classic. Will a feel-good effort from last night carry over to tonight? Well, stick around. We'll find out together. We are coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. Here's Paul Konerko, Jose Abreu, Alexi Ramirez and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with George Springer and Bo Porter's young Houston Astros. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you Game 2 of this 3-game set and Game 2 of the 6-game homestand. We'll have one more with these guys and then 3 Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with Kansas City. If you missed the game last night, it was a beautiful game. Quintana was just outstanding. We trailed it 2-0. 2-run homer by Viciedo. Big RBI single by Tyler Flowers to win it 3-2. But the bullpen was just super.
As some of you know who've been following us, the bullpen has had some problems, the 13 blown saves and a lot of other problems. But last night, none of it was in evidence. First, it was Daniel Webb who threw 2 perfect innings. Then Ronald Belisario came in the ball game, and he was absolutely brilliant. He threw a perfect inning. And they topped it off with Zach Putnam, who saved his 2nd game of the year, and he threw in another perfect inning. So this is the last out of the ball game, protecting a 1-run lead. It's quite a game last night, and hopefully tonight they can repeat.
Or give us some ABCs on tonight's game.
The key to beating Houston is very simple. They have a very small leadoff hitter named Jose Altuve who's doing everything right. If you keep him off base with his 41 stolen bases, you're going to do pretty well against him. This team doesn't hit very well. They don't score a whole lot, but Altuve is one of those guys that just is a thorn in your side. Last night, he fanned 3 times, which was rare for him. He did have a hit. It was inconsequential. If they do that tonight, we're going to win the 2nd game of the series.
And it'll be Hector Nueste on the bump for us. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T U-verse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field on a gorgeous night for baseball. And let's take a look at how Bo Porter is going to line up his Astros for the game this evening. Jose Altuve leading it off, hitting .334. He leads the American League in hits. Then it's Jason Castro, George Springer, Chris Carter, John Singleton, Matt Dominguez, Robbie Grossman in right field with Kike Hernandez and Marwin Gonzalez rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Hector Nuese, Diaz, Eaton, and Viciedo in the outfield with Gillespie, Ramirez, Beckham, and Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Hector Nuese. On for his 15th start, his 21st game, he's 3-7, his ERA about 5.25. And the umpires for the game tonight: Ryan O'Nora, the crew chief behind the plate. Marcus Patillo is at first, DJ Rayburn at second, and Dan Bellino is at third. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, which means we're ready for the second game of the series, and I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stevie, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox Baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us in Game 2. So there you're looking at the diminutive little second baseman. It's quite a player. Hitting at .334. Couple of homers, 27 knocked in. So Hector Nuese's first pitch of the ball game taken for a strike. And Steve told you in opening, you got to keep this guy off the base. He's 41 for 44 in that category.
Especially with a right-handed starter on the mound, he's going to be running.
See, he was down, brought the glove up, took away a bit of that bad bounce right there. Made the play easy.
Jose's got terrific hands at first base, and Altuve went the opposite way, but he picked on the wrong guy, as Jose has had a very good year defensively.
Well, I'd give a $100 bill to find out who that guy was. I can't come up with it. Who told us that he was bad first baseman?
Well, he was looking at the same guy that we've seen. I know that.
I mean, whoever said it, I don't know who it was, but if he was a scout, he wasn't one of ours, but somebody's in trouble.
Now, Jose's made a grand total of 3 errors this year in now 84 games, and that's pretty impressive.
Well, the biggest thing, too, is all the tough plays he's made. I mean, on Rockets, to his right, left, he's got tremendous first-step quickness. As the count 2-0, Jason Castro, the catcher, hitting at .229. Astros come in hitting at .237 as a club with a 4.41 team ERA.
He also has to beware, first of all, the sun in left field, and Castro goes that way quite a bit.
There's a chopper 2 hopper. And 2 now. You missed that game last night, our pitchers. Houston only had 3 hits. They got them all in the second inning. After that, our pitching retired the last 22 in a row.
Pretty amazing night for the Pensmen. They were all rested. Robin could do pretty much what he wanted to do. And what he did was 2 innings for Webb, 1 for Belisario, 1 for Putnam. Nice talking to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
And there's first ball hunting. Nice. Good play. So an easy 1-2-3 inning after half inning of play. It's the Astros nothing and the good guys coming to bat.
Heaton leading it off with Alexi Ramirez in the 2 spot. Jose Abreu, Diane Viciedo had a big 2-run homer last night. Paul Konerko, Connor Gillespie, Gordon Beckham, Alejandro Diaz, and Tyler Flowers rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Dallas Keuchel. It's Hernandez, Springer, and Grossman in the outfield with Dominguez, Gonzalez, Altuve, and Singleton in the infield. Jason Castro behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Dallas Keuchel. On for his 18th start, he's 9-5 with an ERA of 3.20, which for where this Houston club is at this point is a magnificent record. 28 walks, 87 strikeouts. He has been a very, very good pitcher in Bo Porter, along with his number 1 man, Dave Tremblay. A great baseball man, his bench coach. They've done a nice job keeping this team hustling.
Yep. They will give you 27 outs. There's no question about it. So first pitch to Adam. Taken down low. Adam comes in at 270. Homer, he's driven in 25. Sox come in hitting at 250 as a club with a 4.14 ERA. (2-0). Yeah, those numbers on Keuchel. Pitching in that ballpark with a team that's 17 under.
Pretty impressive.
Well, what they are, I'll tell you, they're all-star numbers.
Yeah, he was one of those guys overlooked. And surprisingly, because he has very good control, he's gone 3-0.
There's a strike. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line. 375 in the gaps and 400 straight away center. But wind there is blowing a little bit in from left. So a full count.
Keuchel has a good sinker, and when he's right, and he's been right a whole lot, he throws many ground balls. Has Alexi prepared after the resolution of this at bat?
Well, when you're not a flame thrower and you got his numbers, it'll also tell you he's got a pretty good changeup.
Got a hard slider that he throws to both sides of the plate. And he's going with the inside fastball here.
Back to the middle, up the middle. So he started off last night with a triple. Starts off tonight with a solid single.
Castro wanted it inside, and Keuchel missed with it. This ball is right in the heart of the plate. So Adam takes it right back up the middle. He does get the ground ball he wants, but there's nobody where that one is as he rifles it by Keuchel. Again, the advantage of hitting it to the throwing side instead of the glove side. It gets by the pitcher a lot.
So here is Alexei hitting at 279, 8 homers, 41 knocked in. Alexei 0 for 4 last evening. Breaks the bunt, takes the strike.
Talked to the pitching coach, Brett Strom, about Keuchel, and he said he studied films and looked at all of the performances, especially of Clayton Kershaw. And he talked to Keuchel then about his delivery, what he wanted him to do, the fact that he wasn't overpowering, the fact that he has a need for keeping the ball down, throwing his sinker in the zone, but he's trying to impress upon him, and this is where things get a little dicey. He's trying to impress upon him the value of that face-high fastball. He said you can't throw everything down. You got to change the hitter's eye level, and the face-high fastball is going to be a good pitch for you. So far, Keuchel hasn't used it as much as Brent Strom would like him to.
Well, if a guy's never done it, that's a tough thing to ask him to do.
Especially a sinker ball.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If he's never done it. I told you one of the greatest games I've ever seen pitched in my career. As a player in his 55 years. Scott McGregor threw a 3-hit shutout against us. Struck out 10 and never touched 80. And 7 of the 10 strikeouts were on high fastballs.
And he had one of the great changeups around.
There's a base hit. So now, Grossman gets to it in a hurry. And a good way to start. First 2 men aboard, and here comes Abreu.
Lexi takes this one again. It's right down the middle. So Keuchel, when they talk about a guy wild in the strike zone, Keuchel throwing strikes but not throwing good strikes. He's throwing hittable strikes, and hence 2 hits. Last night, game plan was obvious with Abreu. They were going to go in and bust him inside, preferably above the belt, and they tried to do it all night long.
Abreu 1 for 3 last night, comes in at .292, 29 homers and 73 driven in. Takes up high, ball 1.
During the 9-game hitting streak, all Jose has done is hit .429 with a couple of home runs, 4 driven in with 4 doubles. He just keeps getting better.
Change up. And the count 2-0. Oh.
Good right down the middle again.
Oh. Man.
Right down the middle. Not exactly where Keuchel would have wanted it.
But you notice they had a little late movement on it. That's what bailed him out.
Pretty lucky. Keuchel's only given up 6 home runs this year in 115 innings.
In that ballpark, too.
Yeah, that's quite a trick.
There's a shank. Stay fair. It won't. That young. Just a couple of feet foul.
Again, that time Keuchel got the ball in where he wanted it. He's trying to throw it in and up. That ball was in and up. Jose almost able to fist this ball for at least 1 run batted in and possibly a double, but just missed.
Got him upstairs. And right now, 1 out, 2 on. Let's check out our picks to click. Commangio, our director of the crew. Well, he went with Tank, the man at the plate right now. Steve's going with Paulie. And Gianna Francesca Casson and I. Happy birthday to my sweetheart, Gianna Casson. We're going to go with Alexei. Daughter of Ed and Julie. And of course, might be the MVP on this ball club.
That is one tough job, the traveling secretary job.
He is. He's amazing. You know, I've been around a long time, as you have. I've never seen anything like it.
He does it smoothly.
He does it smoothly, and he gets it done. That's the thing. There's no excuses, no alibis. He gets it done. And the one thing you don't want to do is cross it. Because then you got your hands full.
Well, then you're rooming out in the parking lot, which is not a good thing.
Maybe unconscious. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Gap out there in left center. Tank with that big 2-run homer to tie it up last evening.
Nice stop by Jason Castro, who has gotten better as this year has moved along. Had a bit of a defensive slump for a while, but seems to be out of it now, blocking pitches nicely.
You know, the 2 positions that go into a defensive funk the most. Number 1 is catchers. And number 2 is first baseman. That's a fly ball in the left field. Got it in on it. So that is 2 outs. But those are the 2 biggest positions defensive lineman. So here's Paulie, a beautiful hand. Had almost 29,000 last night. A nice crowd this evening.
Good to have two better days for baseball. It's 75 degrees, hardly a cloud in the sky. And you would think for past the halfway point in July, this is absolutely summer resort weather. Ryan O'Nora stays out there. The right-hander is going to have to go get it because that ball was off the plate away.
Why not?
He's going to give it to you. Go out there a second time.
Ground ball. Flips over to first. And we get the first 2 men aboard. Can't do anything with it. After 1, no score. Forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. And a reminder, you can join our Sox as we host Wild About the Sox on Wednesday, August 6th, presented by Shed Aquarium. Now, prior to the 1:10 game, there will be an interactive program about marine life, including a closed session with shed experts and animals, also video and trivia. So, for specially priced tickets, visit whitesox.com/SoxWild. Here's big, strong Chris Carter to lead it off. The DH tonight. Chris hitting at .202, but he has 19 homers and 40 knocked in. We were down in Houston earlier this season. He hit one all the way out of the ballpark.
This Astro team has a lot of power on it. They've got a couple of guys who can run, notably Altuve. But they've got power through the lineup.
Well, I was talking with Bo Porter before the game, and you know, I've seen some 5-tool players come into this game over the years that were just sensational. There's a ground ball to Alexei. And first couple that come to mind, Eric Davis when he came up with Cincinnati. I mean, he could do it all. Just a great 5-tool player. Darryl Strawberry when he came in. Just sensational looking 5-tool player. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-tool player with more than George Springer.
There's not much he can't do, and when he starts to continue to hit the ball to right and right center instead of getting so pull conscious, which he's doing right now, he's going to be even better.
Well, Bo told me what's the best thing about him. The physical skills are there. You know, it's like when you see a beautiful woman. The beauty is there. Now, what kind of person is she? And when you see a guy with a 5-tool player, now you wonder, now you know it's going to be between the ears. And Bo said that's the best thing about him, is the fact that he's got his feet on the ground. He knows what he wants to do. What a good-looking young player, though. Wow.
He's got a chance to be a star in this league for a long time.
Well, he's like I mentioned last night. Uh-oh. Stay in here. He will. So Singleton just missed it, but he's got the ability that you see going to Cooperstown. You don't see many like that. Of course, we're going to unveil our 5-tool guy next year. Abigail Garcia. And I tell you, the presence of Abreu is going to be so meaningful. And if Viciato continues to go ahead and build that foundation that he's building right now, you stick those three in there, it's going to be easier for Abigail to get back into it because of those two guys.
All he's got to do is take a look at how Abreu prepares on a daily basis, and that's the only roadmap you need.
Well, Abreu's already had an influence on Tank, too. There's a chopper. And another quick 1-2-3 inning after an inning and a half, no score.
Versus Houston on the arm of John Danks. Coverage starts at 12:30 with White Sox pregame live presented by Lexus of Orland. It's White Sox Astros tomorrow at 12:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. There's a young fan enjoying the music.
Got his num-num. So for us, it'll be Gillespie, Beckham, and Diaz. Dallas Keuchel out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. First pitch strike.
Well, Keuchel and Cosart are the two best they have at this point. They've got some guys coming. They believe this is going to be pretty good rotation. They've had enough number ones.
Nice play by Altuve.
Altuve is a pretty good second baseman. He made just 5 errors this year in 95 games. So he does a complete pivot, then the slide, and fires across, and Singleton gets it.
First pitch strike to Beckham. Gordon. Scuffling offensively. Hitting at .235, 7 homers, 28 driven in. 0 for 3 last evening, and he has faced Keuchel twice. He's 0 for 2. Souvenir right side, and quickly 2 strikes. Dominguez. And that's out number 2.
Talked to Pat Listash, long-time coach, real good infielder in his day, and I asked him about Dominguez. So he's a terrific third baseman. Made just 7 errors this year. He said he's got great hands, good first step quickness. He's not fast. There you look at Pat. Tell me he's not fast, and we talked about the fact you don't have to be fast. Brooks Robinson was real fast, but he was great. And he said Dominguez has a chance to be special as a defender, plus he's got some power.
I mentioned last night I used to love what Pat Listash played.
Played hard.
He was a gamer.
Yep. Played hard.
You knew he was around. 1-0. Now 1-1. That breaking ball just flips it into the seats over our dugout for a souvenir.
That Listash in his first year with Milwaukee in 1992 hit .290. Drove in 47. Played in 149 games. Those are pretty good numbers. On base percentage .352. Stole 54 bags.
And there's the shank right inside the line. Now Alejandro will have to pull up, as Hernandez playing him that way. So the 2-out single.
54 stolen bases in any given year is big.
He was an energy player.
That's a
brought
good
the
number.
energy to the ball club.
Yep.
So here's Tyler, one of our heroes last night with that go-ahead RBI in the 7th inning to put us on top 3-2, and that was the winning run. They have a shift on for him.
Keuchel originally drafted in 2009, 7th round pick. And he's parlayed it into what appears to be the infancy stages of a pretty good career.
Change up.
Dallas has used that high fastball effectively the first couple of innings.
Who's he reminding you a little bit of? Those a tad harder. Mark Burley.
Mark Burley.
Wow, he gets it and throws it.
Well, he also has got a good cutter or slider. I think Burley's changeup may be a little bit better, but this guy's changeup is pretty good.
You know, talking about Burley is really a good article. Ranny Jazzayerli. I think you can get it on MLB. Very in-depth article on Mark Burley and just how good he has been.
How durable. How good and durable.
I'm telling you, this guy did a lot of research. There's a nice piece of hitting. Did a lot of research, and if you're a pitching fan, or especially a Mark Burley fan, which we have tons of them out there, that would be well worth your time to read. Ranny Jazzayerli. I think that's how you pronounce it. So here is Adam. He singled back through the middle. Breaking ball strike.
Last at bat by Tyler was a good one because he got a straight change. It was well off the plate, but he stayed back long enough to take it into left field. For the last few games, things getting a little better for Tyler.
It looks like he's got some hang time. There's the long hard throw. Ball gets away. So here comes Alejandro. He'll score. And it is 1-0 Sox. That should be a hit and an error.
It is a base hit. It is E6. Gonzalez, adequate shortstop. And Singleton, an adequate first baseman. But this is a tough play for him, and then it gets away. Alejandro scores. So 3 straight singles have yielded a run.
So Gonzalez picks up his 4th error. And there's that good motion with a change way out in front. Alexei singled into right field. Now make that error really hurt. Off the glove, deflected. Gonzalez makes a beautiful play, but he takes 2 RBIs away from Alexei and 2 runs away from us. But we score 1, we lead at 1-0. Feel for free T-shirt Mondays. Now this Monday, July 21st, first 20,000 fans will receive an Adam Eaton T-shirt. So watch as the Sox take on the Royals at 7:10, and tickets start at just $7. So to purchase, visit whitesox.com.
Two pretty strong innings so far for Hector Nuese. He's faced the minimum, gotten ahead of the hitters, made some good solid pitches, and he's picking up tonight where the bullpen left off last night.
And a bad break for Alexei. That ball was ticketed for a base hit, and Keuchel just was able to get a glove on it, deflected over towards short. Grossman, Hernandez, Gonzalez. Grossman at 179, 3 homers, 14 knocked down.
He's one of those guys that hits the breaking ball and off-speed pitches better than he hits the fastball, which is pretty rare in the major leagues.
About 1%. If that.
You don't find many. But Grossman is one of them.
One time Brooks Robinson, the great Brooks Robinson, Hall of Fame third baseman for Baltimore, was a good breaking ball hitter. Very good. Can't get that one on the count. 2-2. And the Red Sox had a shortstop named Rico Petrocelli, who was a very good breaking ball hitter. But he could turn the fastball around as well. And for years he held a record for home runs at the shortstop with 40.
It's a pretty good year for any position.
Yeah. That fastball at 95. Have you noticed Nuese? Each time he goes out there, it looks like he's picking up his like half mile an hour or 1 mile an hour.
I think he also was pitching more quickly.
Well, that's certainly.
He went fastball, 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 and kept pumping it and finally getting him looking. First strikeout. 7th man in a row retired. And Menard's pitch tracks will show you this one had part of the inside corner. So Grossman will have a seat.
And a good job by Honora staying with it. He watched it come back to catch that corner. Hernandez. He was 0 for 2 last night. Hitting at 275, 1 homer, 5 knocked down.
Hernandez is a second baseman by trade. The problem is they have a guy named Altuve who's not going anywhere for quite some time. So Hernandez showing Bo Porter that he can play just about anywhere.
You can cancel a post-game show. First hit, first base runner. And that'll bring up Gonzalez.
All 3 pitches on the outside part of the plate. This one had a bigger part of the plate. And Hernandez able to take it right back up the middle.
Like a straight change that he did not take too much off of. Marwin Gonzalez at 261, switch hitter. That ball here well into left field, but we got a man there. 2 down. And a very special welcome, another very special welcome to our friends from the Illinois DCFS who are here at the ballpark with us tonight. Thank you for protecting, supporting children and families, celebrating their 50th birthday. Look at those eyes. Altuve hit the ball hard to first, took a little bit of a bad hop, and Abreu made the play. That's into left field, drawing in third baseman.
Hector put that ball in a good spot. He threw it up and in to Altuve, but got pretty quick hands inside. And he drove it through the left side. Did get the good part of the bat on it.
Well, he's a good fastball hitter. When you're a good fastball hitter and you got a drawn in third baseman, you can get some hits like that.
But he's got 132 hits right now. On his way undoubtedly to 200. Young Venezuelan turning into just a terrific player.
First pitch strike.
Castro was the #1 pick out of Stanford. This Houston team has had some tough years. They have a lot of high #1 draft picks.
Well, from what you and I have seen, we've talked about it last year and this year. They got the right man running the ball club. He's got these guys. Bo Porter's got these guys playing hard. And Bo, who was an excellent football player, he's tough. As you know, that's all the manager can do. Is ask his players to give him 27 outs. Give me 27 outs. Don't let the other team outcompete us. We might get beat, but don't let them outcompete you.
Well, that's the Joe Madden philosophy. He says he's got one rule, and that rule is run every chance you get. Every time you have to run, run. That's it. End of rules.
Hit him on the fist, pops him up. Good pitch. Good pitch right there. So he pitches out of it. They do get a couple of hits. They strand a pair. We go to the bottom of the third. We lead it 1-0.
Hashtag Chicago Fan Photo for a chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game. It's brought to you by AT&T.
Big man will be going into the Hall next week. Next Sunday. Tony La Russa, Phil Torre, Bobby Cox. A couple of pretty good pitchers going in as well. Maddox and Glavine. Looking forward to being there. I've been there a few times, but never been to an induction. What a player. What a player.
I would say it's going to be a very exciting weekend in Cooperstown. It's a beautiful place. And the guys they're bringing in this year, all 6 of them, just wonderful performers.
Yeah, Odiaga's going to be jumping. So here is Abreu. Struck out his first trip on a high fastball up out of the zone. But he did have a good pitch to hit, and for him, he missed it. Here he starts him off with a changeup. Yeah, this guy's got a lot of burly in him.
Well, he is using the high fastball more today than he's used it recently, and although he's given up the 5 hits, a couple of high fastballs have gotten him some outs.
I've seen Burley win quite a few games when, quote, quote, he scattered 11 hits.
Didn't walk anybody.
That's right. Picked 1 or 2 guys off, threw a couple of double plays. That's out of play right side. Yes, he did.
For our Lowe's never stop improving stat. Last 28 games, batting average of .355 with 10 homers, 22 driven in, 7 doubles, and 16 runs, hitting safely in 27 of the 28. And we assume that he'll get at least 1 here tonight.
Fouled.
This Houston team last year had a terrible year. But that being said, 83 games were decided by 2 runs or fewer last year. 83. It really shows you that they were close because they were playing close games, and unfortunately when you're not a real good team, you lose those close games. Eventually they will learn how to win.
And there's a shot by Altuve. Well, the big thing, Bo and I were talking about that before the game, and the big thing about that is what they got out of last year. They got the experience of losing close ball games, and they understand now to win in the major leagues, the big secret is you got to win close ball games. So when you get them on the right track, and it's a habit, you know that. You get in the habit of winning close ball games, or you get in the habit of losing close ball games.
Well, it's also going to help when they find some way to shore up that bullpen, because that will determine many of those games that you come on the plus side instead of the minus side.
Well, check out our record this year in close games and how many close games we played and lost. As Paulie grounded out to short. Takes ball 1. We have not been out of more this whole season. And this is our 98th game. We have not been what you would call out of 10, 12 ball games all year.
No, it's really been a good enough team to stay close, but unfortunately, the bullpen and makes it difficult on the manager when the pen is inconsistent. This pen has been like that almost from the beginning, and the injuries didn't help.
No. No, sir. Not at all. And we get Matt Lindstrom back, Nate Jones back. These guys are healthy. It's going to make a huge difference. As there is ball 4. That's his first walk issue. And here comes Gillespie. Hit a ball in the hole between first and second. Altuve made a good play to get him.
The left-handers have all had pretty good swings at Keuchel. Kind of neutralizes that straight change.
First pitch strike. Now feel well around to the left. Huge gap in right center. And that's by him. So here comes Tanks. This guy can throw. Cut off. And it's a 2-0 ball game.
RBI number 36 for Connor as he continues. The left-handers swing the bat very well against Keuchel. Diving attempt by Gonzalez. He can't get to it. The outfield grass slowing it down enough so that even Springer with that big arm had no chance to get Viciato at the plate.
Well, there's not anybody on the club, including spring training, who has hit more line drives. I'm talking about home runs, but no, more line drives than Connor.
Connor's just had, if you look at the year from start to now, he's hit the ball better than anybody on the team.
So here's Beckham. He grounded out to third. Takes first pitch strike. And that was it. Right there.
This fastball right down the middle.
Well, that's what happens when you scuffling like Gordon is. You take, we'll say, you take the good ones and swing it the bat. And very quickly, also when you're scuffling, you're 0-2. First of a doubleheader in Detroit. Indians win it 6-2. Kluber over Verhagen. As you know, Cleveland beat the Tigers last night 9-3. In game 2, they have played 2 innings. The Tigers leading 1-0.
Keuchel has thrown mostly strikes, and yet he's given up 7 hits, and he's not through the third. So a lot of them have not been in good spots. It's in a strike zone, but not good strikes.
Watch out. That's what we talked about. Paulie at second. Paulie's got to have it get back to the backstop before he's going to advance. That's what we talk about. Catcher, it's just important to keep it in front of you. As long as that runner sees it in front of you, he's in between.
Well, we can't locate it, and Keuchel is pointing, which is what pitchers really have to do when the catcher can't figure out where it is. Dominguez was pointing also, and now they're taking a look at Gordon. Gordon might have said that ball got him. And Brian O'Nora is saying, I don't think so.
Well, let's take another look at it.
Slider inside. See if it got him on the hop. Didn't get the front foot. Gordon is saying it got the back leg, I believe.
Yeah. Well, the ball definitely changed directions. There's no question about that. And he says go to first base. So that will load him up. And Bo Porter at the top step of the dugout.
He's taking a look. They want to look at that replay to see if he wants to challenge it or not. In the meantime, there's a limited shelf life as he's going out there, and now I think he's probably going to ask the umpires, will they review it? And if not, then he has a choice if he wants to challenge it or not.
And let's check out the summary on the replay. Look at this. So here, 728 total plays, 172 confirmed, 202 plays, call stands, 347, 47.7% overturned.
I like the fact that the average time of review is very short. 1:49. Well, it's really tough to try to get definitive proof one way or the other. That might be one of those plays like last night where whatever it's called on the field will likely stand because of no definitive proof. But of course, we'll have to wait and see what New York decides. Last night it was a play at the plate that happened to go against our Sox. And the play at the plate called out by Dan Bellino, held up.
Yeah, that's one of those plays as we talked about it. If he had called him safe, he would have been safe.
It would have still held up. No
Exactly.
definitive proof. And this doesn't look like you can find definitive proof. The Keuchel is doing the right thing, and that is throwing in earnest to Castro to make sure that he stays loose. A lot of times we'll see pitchers either just tossing or not throwing at all, and that's not a real good thing because they have no idea how long the review is going to take.
And while they do that, we'll check Kansas City leading Boston 1-0. That's after 3 at Fenway. Tampa Bay 3, Minnesota 0. That's the top of the fourth at Target Field. Earlier, Toronto beat Texas 7-1. Stroman, that little right-hander out of Duke. Outstanding stuff. He's 5-2. Yankees beat Cincinnati 7-1 in the Bronx. McCarthy over Simon. Washington leading Milwaukee 5-1. That's after 2 at Nationals Park. Giants leading Miami 2-1 down in Florida. That's the top of the fourth. Just getting underway in Arizona as they host the Cubs. Cleveland has tied up Detroit at 1. Top of the third in game 2 of that doubleheader. As I mentioned, Indians won game 1 6-2 after beating the Tigers last night 9-3.
This one has taken a while.
So he wants Beckham back at the plate. Three minutes and 49 seconds to determine.
And they found definitive proof. Somehow.
Well, again, I think we all agree that we like the system. It's just got to be, the dynamics have to be changed a little bit, tweaked, but they got the right man. Joe Torre will get it figured out along with John Schuerholz. So he gets him upstairs, and that's out number 2. So a big ruling right there for Bo Porter.
Third strikeout for Dallas Keuchel. And what a difference. Diaz up with the bases loaded and only 1 out. Now Diaz up with 2 on and 2 outs.
And Alejandro singles. Little duck snort into left field. Pitch was outside, but he calls it a strike. The count evens at 1. Another huge gap out there in right center.
Springer feeling that Diaz is going to hit the ball the opposite way.
Two and 1. Checks it up for a 3-1 count. Don't help him out. There's ball 4. That'll load him up.
So Brent Strom's going to come out and have a word with Keuchel. He doesn't like the 2 walks this inning. Time now for the AT&T Uverse Multiview. Pretty good speed at first. And Tyler Flowers, who stayed back, got a straight change and drove it into left center field last time with a chance to put a little more distance between the ball club and these Astros.
So sacks packed with socks. Did not pull the trigger on it.
Altuve playing up the middle. And Singleton way off the line at first base.
Now he's in the hole 1-2. And that hit him. And it's a 3-0 ball game. Boy, what a break with the 1-2 count right there. Yes.
Probably on number 28. And that one, not going to be subject to review. That's a no-doubter. That slider getting the back leg just above the knee. So Keuchel hitting his 5th man of the year.
And 2 walks and a hit batsman in this inning. Adam. I love the thought process. He's 2 for 2 and field single last time up. And then leading off the bottom of the first, a single back through the middle.
If he's able to drag that one and get it by Keuchel, it's a base hit and an RBI. Because most lefties will fall off the mound to the third base side.
In the big hole, 0-2. 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Astros. Castro with a mixture of the knockdown.
This team shifts just about as much as any team, and Springer once again over into left center field. Hernandez over toward the line and shallow and left.
Another one. Well, that serves a double-edged purpose right there. First one is because you're playing to their tendencies, and the next one, it keeps the outfielders in the game rather than thinking about the at-bat, the strikeout, the pop-up, or the ground out. Got him on a bad call. The pitch was not a strike. And I'm sure that Brian Lenore after the game will see it and say to his fellow umpire, I blew it. Meanwhile, we lead at 3-0.
And you see Adam Eaton thinking it was a high fastball and a little wide. And it probably was a little bit of both.
And Castro certainly thought it was.
Castro took it back in the zone. Adam can't believe it. Not enough to get thrown out over, but Robbins came out.
Bases loaded. Well, last night, Adam, he got screwed last night. Dan Bellino overall had a good game, but he butchered up that at bat by Adam Eaton. Well, they're going to have probably over 300 pitches. They're not going to get them all right, but it's not what they call is when they call them. And that one tonight and last night to Adam were bad. Springer hit the first pitch he saw in the first inning. Soft ground ball to short. Boy, he put an exhibition with some long distance hitting and batting practice. He hit one over that Jimmy John sign on that walkway out there. Probably 5 or 6 steps from the concourse. It bounced on to the concourse. And that ball is hit way back. And it's a 3-1 game.
We talked about with George Springer, when he hits the ball to right center field, then he's going to be awfully tough. He'd been trying to pull everything, including the first time up. This time he just went right with it. That pitch was on the outer third, and Springer hit his 20th, and that was a mammoth opposite field home run. Ford home run replay. Springer just takes this one. It didn't do much. It sure did after it left the bat, however. Boy, you're talking about some opposite field power. There's some pretty impressive opposite field power.
I tell you, Bo, I was talking with Bo, there's not a player in baseball if they would trade George Springer. That kid, last year, in case you missed last night's game, we talked about it. His first year was in 12. He had 24 homers and stole 32 bases. Last year, he hit 37 home runs and stole 45 bases in 135 games. You just don't see a guy putting those numbers together in the minor leagues anymore. And that ball right there, I mean, that was Bo Jackson's shot.
That one just left the bat and exploded.
Yeah. He's going to be something. I mean, and playing especially in that ballpark, if he can get some protection behind him once he figures it out, which he will figure it out. You know, you're looking at 50, maybe 60 home runs in a year, once or twice.
Well, if Singleton starts to understand how to hit the major leagues, that's left-handed protection behind him. I'm not sure if he's necessarily going to be the guy, but he has enough power to be that guy.
And he gone. So Carter now 0 for 2. But when you have that kind of power, you go to the plate. It doesn't make any difference. Now, obviously, in Houston center field, he's not going to get many there. But to right center, left center, and left, I mean, he's going to hit a ton. Because you don't have to worry about pulling. You don't have to worry about it. You just go to the plate, figure out what you want to do, and then hit the ball. Because if he hits it and gets in the air, it's sayonara. Singleton just missed one his first time up.
The Astros do have a young kid, their #1 prospect in the entire organization, Carlos Correa, who's getting over a broken ankle. He's just 19 years old. He's just learning to come into his power. And it might not be next year exactly, but he is going to be a power hitter. And that could be the guy eventually that gives Springer some protection.
Well, that one by Springer right there and one that Abreu hit earlier in the right center field. Those are the 2 longest by a right-handed hitter we've seen hitting this park this year.
He appealed to Dan Bellino. He says nope. Singleton held up. Hector goes upstairs. That's exactly where Tyler Flowers wanted it. And I think Dan got the call right.
Yeah, he didn't go. And that's going to be foul. Now Springer now with 20 home runs, 51 RBIs. He's still trying to figure it out. And that one's fair, taking goes right to the back. So 2 down. So here's Dominguez. He grounded it out to his counterpart, Connor Gillespie. And this guy's got a chance to be a heck of a player. Connor's going to get him again. And that'll retire the side, but a tremendous home run opposite field by George Springer. And we lead it 3-1. A business function in the Diamond Suite at a White Sox game. The Diamond Suites can accommodate groups 10 to 100, from 10 to 100. Single game packages include a great food menu as well as beverages and parking passes. So to purchase, visit whitesox.com/suites. Bottom of the 4th inning and a 3-1 Sox lead.
This has not been an artistic success for Dallas Keuchel, who came in giving up less hits than innings pitched. It's found tonight they give up 7 hits in just 3 innings of work and thrown a lot of very hittable strikes.
And we have stranded 2 in the first, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third. 7 men in 3 innings. So it could have been a lot worse.
Well, Keuchel saved himself a couple of runs with that deflection, because if he doesn't get the glove down, that's another 2. That was off the bat of Ramirez.
Yeah, that was a good play by him just to make an attempt, and he did throw some leather on it. So here is Alexei. Soft down the third base line, picks it up, guns it over, and they just get it.
He was safe at first.
Marcus Patello.
I'm pretty sure Marcus missed that one. At least to the naked eye, it looked like he missed it. Let's see. No, he's safe easily at first base. I mean, this one wasn't even close.
So that's a tough play to blow right there.
Well, yeah, he was saved by a good step. And I think this one is going to take probably as short an appeal as we've seen. One angle, no mystery. Stay at first, Alexi.
Alexi can't believe what's been going on with him lately. I mean, he hit the ball. He's scorching some shot. Not that one. That's a swinging bunt. Right at somebody. Guy deflects it right over the shortstop. Cost him 2 RBIs last night. A couple of rockets.
Yeah, that one was easy. That's probably the shortest replay, or close to the shortest replay they've had in a while. There's the look, and yeah, that one's pretty easy. And then Alexi is incredulous. I was safe by that much, at least that much.
More than that, Alexi.
Maybe more, I know. That's hit number 8.
So here is Abreu. Jose 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Didn't take Robin long to get out of the dugout.
There's a bullet. So he just continues to roll.
Geico tried to get this ball inside and probably wanted it a little higher. But you can go inside. If you get the plate inside, you've got some problems, as he's rifled it by Dominguez. 28 of 29. He is hit in successfully.
And a 10-gamer. There's Tank. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. And we have another one of our Cuban players down at Birmingham. Rangel Ravelo has hit safely in 30 of his last 32 games. Hitting .381 over that span.
That's good.
26-game hitting streak. Let's foul back. Right underneath us. Takes it up. Takes ball 1. Check that ball 2. 2-1 to count. Gap out there in left center. Paulie on deck. Well, and that changeup right there. There is a perfect approach to trying to hit a changeup this way.
This ball is well off the plate.
Because when you're as strong as Tank, he can hit that pitch right there. He can square it up. He can hit it out of the ballpark. One out.
There is no doubt that Brian Lenore is calling the high strike. And this one, borderline. Trying to touch a piece of the plate.
Well, yeah, you can't. It's hard to argue on that one.
Yep.
One to Adam, yeah. He just flat blew it. Paulie has grounded short, walked, and scored. if you're a pitcher tonight, you got to love pitching to Brian O'Neill.
Get a nice pitcher's zone.
Oh. Oh, and 2. Evidently somebody got hit with that rocket. But right here, the 0-2 pitch. Gap out there in left center. We're talking about close ball games, and now last year Houston lost a lot of games 2 runs or less. 60 of our 96 games going into last night, now make it 61 out of 97, have been decided by 3 runs or less.
Not surprising, because this is not a bad baseball team, and they got enough thunder to score some runs, enough good starting pitching to keep the team in the game, and hopefully this club and the guys who come back next year will have benefited from what happened this year, which is a whole lot better than what happened last year.
Don't even go there. And there's they're going to go to second base, and they don't get him. So everybody's safe.
Pretty much the inexperience of a first baseman and not knowing who's going down the line at first, because it's an easy play if they go to first base. Very tough play going to second, and he didn't get him. Now Bo Porter's going to come out. He's going to have a word with DJ Rayburn. It looked like he did get him, and now this is going to set. He's probably going to maybe set one of the records for, not necessarily challenges, but certainly umpire reviews.
And let's take another look at it.
And the throw, he's got him. He's out.
Well, you might be saying, why didn't he slide? It would have been a bigger margin he had been out if he tried to slide. Jose knew it.
Three-4 force out because of the shift. And now runners at the corners, but there are 2 outs. And a lot of reversals.
Well, that's why the system is working. Even though it's fairly crude at this point. So here's Gillespie. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. Gillespie's got to be on his toes down there at third. Got Dominguez way off the line for that breaking ball in the dirt. Two and 0. That ball hit hard, but Springer is there. So we're going to strand 2 more. That is 9 we have left in the first 4 innings, but we lead at 3-1. .610 as our Sox take on the Blue Jays, and also the first 20,000 fans will receive Frank Thomas, a big hurt bobblehead, presented by Comcast Sportsnet. Be sure to stay after the game for a post-game fireworks show presented by Comcast Sportsnet. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. 5th inning. It'll be Grossman, Hernandez, and Gonzalez top of the 5th for them. 3-9-0 for us, 1-3-1 for them. Grossman struck out, called out his first trip. Breaking ball strike.
Gillespie in close enough at third. He's in at the cut of the grass to take away any thought of a bunt.
Nice side. And big White Sox hello to a couple Sox fans watching in tonight. Tom McCabe, Rockford, and Josh Harris, big Sox fans. Here's Hernandez. He had a single for their first hit in the third inning. Solid single to center.
The oddity for the Sox offense tonight, they've had 9 hits in 4 innings, all singles.
Not very often you're going to strand 9 guys in 4 innings.
No. Nope. And Keuchel has had an excellent year. Very vulnerable here tonight.
You got to give him credit. He's battling his behind off out there, pitching out of some jams.
Yeah, without a whole lot. He did not have a whole lot tonight.
Well, managers love to see that, because when he's got his good stuff and his good control, as his numbers would indicate, he's probably going to beat you. He's 9-5 coming in case you're just joining us, with a 3.20 ERA. Coming in, less hits than innings pitched.
When you're 4 over for a team that's 17 under and 20.5 back, you are getting the job done. Those are spectacular numbers considering his ball club
and his ballpark that he's pitching in. That's why you take a guy like Ferguson Jenkins over the years pitching in that ballpark, automatic 20 every year.
6 years in a row. 20-game winner with Wrigley Field as your home park.
I mean, that's just shows you how great he was.
It's okay if you can pitch April and May and September. You got to pitch those summer months a little tougher.
I mentioned that one Crosstown Classic game. It's the only time I've ever seen it in my career that I watched batting practice for both teams and not one ball left the park.
Sometimes that wind howling off the lake,
it was unbelievable.
It is.
There were some shots hit that, I mean, never had a chance to get out of there. Checks it up, fouls it off.
Well, the ball boy did a nice job of catching that ball. Good hands. Very good hands. Got a big smile on his face.
There's a shot in the gap. Cut off nicely by Tanner. Beautiful. Holding him to a single. Nice play by Viciedo.
If Tank can get to it, there's not many teams going to run on his arm. And he cut across. This ball's hit hard. Viciedo does get to it on the short hop, and he steadies himself, and Hernandez thinks better of it because he'd have been out by 30 feet.
Well, here's Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitting shortstop. Went out to Diaz. And there's the base hit. Softly hit in the left field.
Marwin is a much better hitter from the left side with all of his power coming from that side. That one he just dropped in front of Diaz. So now you got to deal with their best hitter. And Hector Noese in one of the few jams tonight.
Altuve 1 for 2. And this is one of those situations in baseball that you say, man, we stranded 2 in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 2 in the fourth. We missed our chances. Meanwhile, he's got to pitch out of it because you're going to be Castro on deck and Springer in the hole. gets away. They got a shot at second base. So the runners will advance on a wild pitch.
And Tyler did the right thing. It was a wild pitch, but he only had the one play, and that was the second base. No chance to get Hernandez. He takes off immediately. But the play was a second, would have taken just a great throw, but it was off balance, and Tyler gave it a try, bounced it, and Beckham did a good job of making sure that didn't go into center field. That could have been fairly disastrous.
Now a man who's leading the league in hits. And there's another. And it's going to be a tie ball game. So all those guys we left going. He's 2 for 3, 2 RBIs. He now has 29 knocked in.
The last time up, Hector tried to do the same thing. He tried to get inside on him, and it didn't work. It was a shot ground ball by Gillespie. This time he tries to get inside, only the ball's up higher. And Altuve, who's just a terrific hitter, breaks his bat, but hits it hard enough to hit it over the head of Gillespie. And just like that, it's a tie game.
Well, when you're talking about a guy who can hit with short arms like that, which his arms are short.
I was going to say, most of the time he's got no choice.
Those kind of guys are really tough to get in on. Guys with longer arms, a lot easier to get on. And of course, Abreu is the exception to that rule.
Well, Altuve is showing a lot like Pedroia, that if you get careless with a fastball, he's going to hit it hard.
Well,
someplace.
they've got to. Those two, they're little guys. They're two high fastball hitters. And they've got to be, because every pitch almost is high. Their whole career, their whole life. I was shocked last night that he struck out 3 times in that game.
Well, when you figure out that he came in with just 29 strikeouts, 288 at bats, and struck out 3 times in the same game, that's really amazing for him.
So 3-9-0 for our guys, 3-6-1 for their guys.
Looks like the bullpen's going to get up and going for the first time, as Hector is having some problems here in the 5th.
High, foul, left side. Everybody giving chase. Diaz is there, makes the catch. And that is out number 2.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's home run number 20 coming leading off the 4th inning. A shot to right field and a no-doubter. At the time made it 3-1. Now Tyler's out there to say, look, Carter, you've thrown inside fastballs by, and he hasn't really hurt you. Springer hits. So let's be careful with this guy.
Young man with awesome power. Got that one by him upstairs at 93.
Springer, another first-round draft pick, but it was the 11th player overall in June 2011.
There's a broken bat, softly hit. Beckham's got it. But they pick up a pair on the double by Tuesday. We're halfway home, tied at 3. It's the bottom of the 5th inning and a 3-3 tie for us. It'll be the lower third of the order. Beckham, Diaza, and Flowers to face the 26-year-old southpaw of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dallas Keuchel.
He's used a whole lot of pitches to get through 4 innings.
And they have all been stressful when you're stranding 9 guys.
Brett Strom and I were talking about before the game is pitch counts and how you can get to the same count, coasting or struggling. And there's no doubt that Dallas has gotten to this count struggling from the beginning. He gave up 2 hits to lead off the ball game, got out of that first. Gave up a run in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 to lead off the 4th inning and get out of that inning.
And that has popped up. Now Altuve making the call. Now he's called off by Springer, as he should be. So 1 out.
There you look at some numbers that are somewhat surprising in that he came in averaging right around 8 hits per 9 innings. He's given up 9 and 4 1/3. But he finds himself in a tie game. I just love the way that Alejandro's game has picked up in every facet. He's running the bases better, playing outstanding defense. And he's got his batting average knocking at the door at 240 from the 170s. I'm particularly happy with that call, but Vano Nora has been calling the ball up and away all night.
You know, if I were a hitter today, with all the technology and the video, and you got a Brian Johnson sitting down there, you can get somebody else. If I were a hitter today, I would, after a couple of at bats, maybe even one, is that ball fair down into the corner. But now he's going to turn it over, and he is going to get there. So Alejandro with his 5th triple.
Beck will try to get that ball inside on Diaza. and he couldn't get it there. Alejandro just turns on it and rips it down the line. And then with the play in front of him, he's got a pretty good idea that Grossman's not going to be able to get to it. So he decides, as he's rounding first base, he's thinking about going to third. And he made a lot of stress because he made it easily.
Well, here's Flowers. He is 1 for 1 with an RBI. Got a single, and then he was hit by a pitch with the bases loaded.
Piazza took 2 looks to right field. One when he hit the first base bag, and one when he was about 15 feet from second, liked what he saw and kept on going.
Now the infield end. But if I were here today, after my first at bat, maybe the second, I'd go into Ryan Johnson, who's our video guy, and I said, Ryan, does this umpire have any showing you any tendencies? What are they? He might say, no, he's all over the place. Or he might say, well, he's giving them a couple inches off the outside corner.
And up, in this case.
Well, in this case with Ryan, and he's calling the high strike. All right, that's going to get the job done. And it's going to be in there. So Piazza's going to score on the double by Flowers, and the Sox lead at 4-3.
Second run batted into the night, 29th of the year. It's Tyler Flowers. The last 3 games has reacquired the magic he had earlier in the year. So 2 resurgent Sox hitters have done the job against Keuchel this inning. That's 11 hits, and now Keuchel relinquishes the tie game.
Brent Strom coming out, the pitching coach, and let's take another look. I mean, watch his front foot. Earlier, that front foot was hitting the ground very quick. That time he had some hang time. And that's what earlier got him on that change up. That front foot hits the ground, you're committed. That ball better be in your swing plane. But if you could get the tendencies of the umpires say, hey, yeah, he's calling a high strike. He's not calling anything, from the top of the knee down. And all it does, it just gives you something to add into your plan.
Yeah, it also, that you're going to have to protect out there. And in your mind, it might not be a strike, but tonight it is one, so you got to go get it.
It might cause you to change your position in the batter's box, too. That's the whole key. If he's calling the low strike on you, you might move up 3 or 4 or 5 inches in that box.
Bullpen up and going, and it's Anthony Bass.
Don't stop now, boys, as here is Adam. He is 2 for 3. There's another one of the high strikes. Had part of the corner. Ball gets by him, and you can stick it in your pocket.
Well, that time,
and good job by McEwing and Flowers.
That time, hitting off the glove was a benefit to Adam Eaton. We saw it before with Ramirez, took a base hit away. This time, the deflection took enough off it so that Adam was going to beat the play at first base. Nothing Gonzalez could do. He tried the bare hand and took a look and thought better of it, and trying to get Tyler Flowers rounding the bag too far.
There's Alexei. He's 2 for 3. Yeah, 4 runs on 12 hits. Infield halfway. And a pitch outside.
.100 pitches, and a lot of them have been hit. 2 starts ago, he gave up 13 hits against the Angels. So it could very well be that he's starting to wear down somewhat.
Two and one. Too frisky. Well, can't let the man tag you.
No, that's not a particularly good base running play.
Nope. They get the double play and get out of it, but we pick up one. We strand another one. We stranded 10 through 5, and we lead at 4-3. For Elvis night, and be sure to stay for an Elvis-themed post-game fireworks display. Elvis night and fireworks are presented by St. Xavier University. So purchase your tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. 4-3 Sox lead it. As I mentioned, we have stranded 10 men through 5 innings. In that inning, we had a single, a triple, and a double, and scored 1 run.
And again, Keuchel very vulnerable tonight, yet he's given up the 4 runs.
Only 4 runs.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it is. But again, you got to give him credit.
He's getting out of some innings that he shouldn't be getting out of.
He's competing
with what he's got.
With what he's got. Hit him on the fist and fouls it away. That pitch has been called a strike tonight, if you're just tuning in.
Carter's got some big power. And Hector is trying to keep everything in under his hands. High fastball in there probably leads to a strikeout.
And that pitch has been called a strike tonight, too, on our guys. Full count. So the leadoff walk. That's the first walk issued by Noesi.
And Don Cooper, not particularly happy, makes a call to the pen once again. Carter does not have a stolen base this year. He's attempted one. Probably on a hit and run. Singleton's been trying to pull everything. Javi Guerra loosening up in the pen.
Boy, this guy's powerful. He doesn't even have to hit it to see he's powerful.
He's just another youngster, 22 years old. "21 home runs, his high a couple of years ago." He's strong, though.
Yes, he is.
Very strong.
That's high and deep into left center field. Diazza right at State Farm will hold it in. Woo! Mercy. 1 out.
Singleton didn't look like he got that on the sweet spot and still took it out.
Sounded like hit her off the end of the bat.
That's what it looked like. Let's watch. He did. He got it. Well, he got some of it, but he didn't get it in the sweet spot, and yet he almost took it out of the ballpark. And Robin, now the question is, and I think he's going to ask, if Carter retouched the bag going back to first. It's DJ Rayburn he's talking to. And we'll watch Carter. Now he hits the bag. His foot is on the bag. Yeah, he's fine with that. Last time up, Dominguez took a curveball and hit the daylights out of it. Hit it right at Connor, who made a pretty good play and threw him out.
Yeah, that's one of those. It could have definitely been a Schönberger.
You got to be quick. That position demands quick hands and first step quickness to either side.
If you don't have that, you can't play it.
You know, it's,
I don't care what kind of hands you got.
It's a tough position to play.
Okay, boys, take your time. We got plenty of them. Rack them up. And we'll go to the bottom of the sixth. It is a 4-3 White Sox lead. U.S. Cellular Field. Now it's accessible from the 100 to 300 and the 500 levels. Young Sox fans can learn baseball fundamentals, White Sox Training Academy coaches, and the space features batting and pitching cages, base running areas, and baseball skill instruction. Now it's all from Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And they're showing the kiss cam. I love the kiss cam.
The new pitcher coming in the game, and it's Anthony Bass. And you look at those numbers, and they're not real good. Right-handers have done the job on him. He's allowed 5 home runs in 24 1/3 innings. So he comes in with a 1-run deficit. Nitro went 5, gave up 4 runs on 12 hits. A couple of walks, a hit batsman, and 5 strikeouts.
Oh boy. Elderly couple, and he is giving her a big kiss.
And that young man is waiting for the noise to die down. It's ruining his enjoyment of the game. But it's nice to hear the applauding of a very large crowd. Good crowd here tonight.
So the Abreu, Viciedo, and Canerco to face Anthony. So Dallas Keuchel with 103 pitches in 5 innings. He departs, giving up the 4 runs, 3 earned, 12 hits. And he's going to be one tired young man tonight because he just battled his behind out there with what he had.
He gave up 2 hits in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and didn't have anything remotely an easy inning.
No, he kept him to 4 runs.
Jeez.
He's pitching out of a jam every inning. I love guys like that. Because you're not going to have your good stuff and your good control every night. If you're going to have your good stuff and good controls, you well know, Steve, you're not going to win many games.
No, you can be well below 500 because you just don't have the great stuff. Maybe 25, 30% of the time. The rest of the time, you got to find out how to stay in the game and how to win with less than your best.
You got to learn how to navigate. That's into right field. Popped up. Grossman. And that's out number 1. He is now 1 for 4.
Long way to run for Robbie Grossman, but he was able to make the play. No chance at all for Singleton, so it was Grossman or a base hit.
Well, and Grossman knew that.
Yep.
So here's Tank. He's 1 for 3 with a run scored. Big gap out there in left center. This yank just fouled on the third baseline.
Anthony Bass spent a whole lot of last year Tucson and AAA before going to San Diego. He appeared in 24 games for the Padres, and ERA up over 5. Originally from Dearborn, Michigan, went to school at Wayne State. in pre-dentistry. You can find a spot with Oakland's own Jack Ruby.
Well, 2-2. He's not pretty enough to be working there.
He's got a yes. He has a nice staff.
Yes, he does. Full count.
There's a look at Jack Ruby. Fellow on the left with yet another in his wide selection of shirts with alligators on them.
Payoff pitch. Oh, he got a cookie. Tommy tried to Tommy Hawk it into right field.
You gotta love those high sliders. This one is up. It's right there, hanging like a piñata. Sometimes you just can't. You make a mistake, and it doesn't get hit.
Well, pitchers. A lot of pitchers today. Let me rephrase it. A lot of pitchers today don't understand. Those get me over breaking balls go a long way. Those 3-2 get me over breaking balls go a long way. Hit him on the fist with that fastball at 96. So, as a hitter, he had his chance of cookie and didn't get it. Here's Paulie. Paulie 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Cleveland leading Detroit 2-1. Bottom of the 6th in game 2 of that doubleheader. Indians won game 1 6-2, and then they won last night, beating the Tigers 9-3. First pitch strike. Softly hit, 3-hopper. So 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Bass.
Tweet your photo to hashtag Chicago Fan Photo for a chance to be shown on our broadcast, brought to you by AT&T. And for that young Sox fan, That is one large hat. And Javi Guerra comes in on for the 19th time. He's 0-2, but the ERA pretty good at 3.32. He's trying to continue the exceptional work that was started last night out of the bullpen, when Robin went to 3 Pensmen, Webb, Belisario, and Putnam, and got 4 perfect innings out of them.
Well, our bullpen's got to cover 9 outs, which is the norm today. Anywhere from 7 to 9. And Noesi, a good job. That's a quality start. 6 innings, 3 runs. But it doesn't make any difference. The bullpen's got to cover the outs. As here is Grossman. In Detroit, they have the 4th worst bullpen in the major leagues. Their bullpen ERA is at 4.38.
I have a feeling Dave Dombrowski is going to get some help.
Well, if he does, he's going to pay dearly for it, because nobody is going to trade the bullpen help. Nobody's going to trade. Now, Houston Street was just traded. Okay,
yes, he was.
But they gave up a ton to get it in Angels.
And Detroit will also, because they're talking with Texas, and it's one of my bid for Soria.
I don't know what they have in their organization, so you know what you have to know what they have, but they're not going to give up a whole bunch. But it's just tough to get bullpen help.
This is just a great time to be a seller, because there's so many teams that are sitting there knocking at the door for a wild card.
That's the way Bud designed it. Parity. It's there.
Well, that and the extra wild card means more teams around thinking that they can just get into the dance. Maybe they can make some magic late.
It makes it interesting, a lot more interesting. There's no question about that. So there's the leadoff single on a curveball.
We'll take a look at the bullpens, and the Astros have the worst in the major leagues, followed by the Rockies, the Rangers, and then the aforementioned Tigers, along with the Blue Jays. But if you're in contention, you're going to one of those teams that are completely out of it, and they have a very saleable commodity, or it's going to cost you in young talent. Lots of good young talent will move if they make a deal at all.
That's why, and everything in the game of baseball today is tougher than it's ever been. As Hernandez is 2 for 2, fouls that pitch back. Every department, as you look at Belisario, Bella down there loosening up, every department of baseball, whether it be coaching, managing, general managing, scouting, is tougher today than it's ever been, because of all the parity in the 30 teams you've got. If your amateur scouts don't get it done today, you're in deep trouble. Deep trouble. There's a shot, base hit. So the first 2 men aboard.
Hernandez has scalded the ball 3 times. Easy to see why the all-purpose player can find a spot somewhere in the batting order, as Don Cooper now wants to see if Belisario is ready to go.
He's ready, he said. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitting shortstop.
He does have 1 sacrifice this year, and now Pat Listash comes down to have a word with him. They don't want to leave anything to chance in what might be a missed sign. So Pat says something to him, and here comes Robin, and it's going to be Belisario.
And the attendance tonight, 28,210. We had last night 28,777, and tonight's crowd actually looks bigger than last evening's. So Robin is out, Guerra is out, Bella is in, and we'll be back. Edition Paul Konerko bobblehead for a donation of $35 with only 5,000 available, so get yours today. All proceeds benefit White Sox charities and Children's Home Aid. So get yours today by visiting whitesox.com/Paulie.
Rosario came in the ball game last night. He pitched the 8th inning. It was a 1-2-3 8th. And there you look at the numbers. ERA just over 5. The only question now is, Bo Porter liking the sacrifice? Or is he going to let him swing away?
Got the corners at the cut of the grass. Now Gillespie on the grass. And he squares. Takes it up high.
Porter going through his set of signs that he'll give to Pat Listash, who will then take a look out at Grossman at second, Hernandez at first, and give them the set of signs, as well as the signs to Gonzalez.
There's a bunt, kicks back in. It appeared to be going foul. All of a sudden hit a clump and put it back in fairground. So the sacrifice.
This ball was absolutely going foul. Take a look at it. And then it takes a unique hop. And the sacrifice is accomplished, the second of the year. So that was not a particularly good break, especially with Altuve coming up.
He's 2 for 3, a single and a 2-run double. And the only out he made was his first at bat leading off the ball game, and he had a bullet down to Abreu, who made a nice play on it. Corners in, middle back. Takes it up, takes it. Very high strike.
That was way out of the zone.
Watcha. It appears everybody there is okay.
There was a fan there with a glove, but
He
able to
whiffed.
make the play. Yeah, he didn't protect that gentleman. So got one in the shoulder and got a souvenir for it.
Meanwhile, the count is 0-2.
Infield is back. They're going to concede the tie on a ground ball in the infield. Viciedo very shallow in right field. So he'll have a good shot at Grossman if Altuve goes that way.
Now the corners. He gone. Big strikeout by Bella.
Rosario just reaches back. Good late movement on that one at 97. And a tough man to strike out in a key situation goes down on strikes. And now they're going to walk Castro. Take their chances on throwing it by Springer.
Okay. Here comes Springer. He's 1 for 3 with a long home run to right field, right center. Castro with 8 homers, 36 knocked in. Springer with 20 homers, 51 knocked in. Makes first pitch strike, another high strike. That one had part of the zone. Springer out of New Britain, Connecticut. Sacks packed with Astros. Good try, just missed. The ball, a strike, 2 out. 4-3 Sox here in the top of the 7th. 4-12-0 for us, 3-8-1 for them. One of the longest home runs we've seen to right center by a right-handed hitter this year. And there is. He gets him. So Bella pitches out of it, does a terrific job. 7th inning stretch, we lead at 4-3.
Brought to you by Miller Lite. And a little tapper to the left side and out of a tough jam by Ronald Belisario.
You talking about some good late movement?
Tony Sipp comes into the game. He is 1-1 with an ERA of 2.77 out for the 29th time. He does have a save, so you might remember Tony from his days with the Indians. And left-handers who can get the ball over the plate will always find a job, assuming they're healthy, and he has been.
All right, let's take another look at this pitch to the dangerous George Springer. Watch the late movement here. Watch this ball just dive down a little bit off sweet meat and in off the hands. That is nasty. But again, that's what we talk about. Well, Altuve can hit with short arms for two reasons. So here's Gillespie. He is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Start us off right here. We need some more points. One and one to count. Beckham on deck. Piazza in the hole. Breaking ball, no. Grabs the strike. Pitcher's pitch right on the outside corner down. To even the count at 2. Reaches out, hooks it. Kind of hangs it 2-2.
Hung that breaking ball over the middle of the plate. Gunnar got out a little too quickly. So take a look on pitch tracks. This one just hangs right there, right over the heart.
Pops that one up. Get backing out of here. Get out. It will. And there. Alan Ashby on the right. Jeff Bloom on the left. Alan, terrific catcher in his career. And Jeff Bloom, all Sox fans will remember him. 14th inning, game 3 of the 2005 World Series. Homered. Jeff did a good job for us. They do a good job announcing as well. Jeff only the 30th player to ever homer in his first World Series at bat.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is. He got some big hits for us. He was great in the clubhouse as well. One down. So here's Gordon. He's 0 for 3. He's due. Gap out there in left center as Springer over towards Grossman and right. And this foul back. Make a play every now and then.
That was a little too tall.
Yeah, you'd have to play a little higher for that.
Hit off the facing. We had one just underneath, one just overhead.
They're just firing for
I think to come back with maybe
range now. They'll be firing for effect pretty soon.
A little less hair on it than the last couple.
Way out in front. Two down.
Good straight change. That was it. That one was off the plate, but a good motion, and that's what Gordon was swinging at.
Well, Sip's got that funky motion. So here is Alejandro. He is 2 for 2, a single, a walk, and a triple. And he scored on that triple back in the 5th inning, which is the 4th run for us. Cleveland still leading Detroit 2-1. Game in the bottom of the 7th at Comerica Park. Game 2 of that doubleheader. Indians won game 1 6-2. Just foul. Bottom of the 9th, the Target Field. Tampa Bay shutting out Minnesota 5-0. Boston leading Kansas City 2-1, top of the 9th at Fenway.
Tampa Bay going for their 4th win in a row, and things have gotten a whole lot better for them. But still, you hear all the rumblings of David Price.
I heard a rumbling yesterday. Price and Zobrist to Seattle.
They better have a whole lot of young talent to get those two.
Yeah. I mean, again, you know what rumors are and what they're like. Everybody's got one. So we're into the 8th. We lead it 4-3. with all 30 MLB teams and 2014 players. Get the retro 2-button style baseball game you've been missing. Visit RBIGame.com for more details and download today on your console and mobile device. Top of the 8th inning. Rosario still on the bump. 4-12-0 for our Sox. 3-8-1 for their Astros. The Kansas City-Boston game is over. Red Sox win it 2-1. Danny Duffy pitched well once again. He's 5-10 with a 2.66 ERA.
You've got to love his stuff. And there's no telling where he would have been in his development had that elbow not blown out against us, because it set him back, and now the stuff is still very good.
Well, he gave up 6 hits, 2 runs, only 1 earned, and 6 2/3 tonight. This is bad luck. 5-10 with a 2.66. First pitch strike. Chris Carter, who's 0 for 2. Chris grounded to short, struck out, and he's walked. Breaking ball, no chance in the count. 0-2.
Jake Petrichka loosening up in the pen.
Outfield straight up, spread out, spaced about equidistant. Maybe a slight gap out there in left center.
That is the Astro closer, Chad Qualls. He's got 10 saves this year and a fine 1.95 ERA.
That's into left center field. Diaza, yes! Another brilliant play by Alejandro Diaza. What a West Coast turnaround he has made. Mercy.
That's a 2-base hit. It's off the end of the bat, and Alejandro got a great jump, cut across, and made the play. Take another look at it. Outstanding effort. This could turn out to be a game saver before it's all over.
Leading off an inning. Wow. So here is Singleton. Jonathan, 0 for 3. Last time up, took Diaza back out there against the State Farm side. Next first pitch strike. That one in 94. Another strike. And the count 0-2. Well, hitters on both teams certainly, we're in the top of the 8th inning, should realize that they've got a big strike zone to swing at. As he gone. 2 down. One thing about Brian tonight, he has been all over the place, but he's been consistent in being all over the place.
He's hit a high zone, a big zone and a high zone.
So here's Dominguez. 0 for 3, 3 ground balls. 2 of them hit hard.
Belisario continues to throw exploding fastballs with great late movement. Singleton had no chance at all on that last one.
That evens at 1.
Took a little something off that, and he had Dominguez well out in front of it.
One and 2. Runs that one a little up and in.
That's to you. Just missed.
Get the camera. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Mike Mayer, our high home count. He gone. Another beautiful inning by Bella.
For Houston, and it is their closer. We talked about him earlier. It's Chad Qualls, who's having one of his better years. He's 10 for 12 in save opportunities, only giving up 2 home runs, a 1.95 ERA. This is his 37th appearance. He has lived and died on the sinker. That has been his best pitch throughout his career. And this year he seems to have rediscovered it.
So here we go. It'll be Flowers and back to the top of the order with Adam Eaton and Alexi Ramirez. Tyler's had a good game. He's 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs.
For Qualls, this is his second trip around with the Astros. He was there 2004 through 2007.
Attaboy, Tyler. Making this 3 for 3. So here's Adam. Adam is 3 for 4. Got that average up to 276. Dominguez in on the grass at third. Outfield shifts well around to the left. There's a bunt. Dominguez guns it over. So the good bunt, sacrifice, 5-3.
That's the first sacrifice of the year for Adam Eaton, and he couldn't have done it much better.
Here's Alexei. Alexei is 2 for 4. We have 4 runs on 13 hits. They have 3 runs on 8 hits. Alexei just swinging at the motion right there.
Wells last year had a pretty good run at it with Miami. He was 5-2 in the area of 261 in 66 games, but he was not a closer. He did have 1 year, however, with Arizona, 2009, where he saved 24 games.
That pitch is low. 21 to count.
There are their career numbers. With 61 saves. He is the senior member of this bullpen for Houston.
Takes the strike. 1-2. Two down.
Good hard slider. Kept it low and out of the zone.
So here is Abreu with Viciedo on deck.
And Castro looking over in the dugout to see if they want to put Abreu on first base, which is what they're not going to do.
He is 1 for 4. Had a single back in the 4th inning. Takes ball 1. So their guys in the 9th. It'll be the lower third of their order, but the thing is, they have 5 of 8 hits.
It was surprising pitching to Abreu, only in that he has double the runs batted in of Viciedo, who's coming up next.
Adam Dunn is now coming on deck. Two-0 pitch. That ball hit hard right at him. Knuckle stays with us, so that's a hang whooping for Abreu. Meanwhile, we'll go to the ninth, leading 4-3.
Net Central presented by GMC. On the show, we'll have highlights from day 2 of the Blackhawks convention. Plus, we'll show you the leaderboard from the British Open. See all that and more on Sportsnet Central tonight after White Sox postgame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet. So Jake Petrichka comes into the ballgame after yet another fine job by Ronald Belisarian. Jake on for the 41st time. He's 3 of 4 in save opportunities. Only given up 38 hits and 49 2/3. ERA 2.17. And the Sox nursing a 1-run lead as Moises Sierra takes over defensively in right field.
Grossman, Hernandez, and Gonzalez. As I mentioned, 5 of the 8 hits those 3 have. Robbie Grossman is 1 for 3. Count evens at 1. Reminder, finale of this series tomorrow. And that'll be Danks against Kosar. Can't make it to the ballpark. The game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. And of course, that is a 1:10 start. Then Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Billy Butler and the Kansas City Royals roll into town. No walks, come on. 3-1. It's full.
Hernandez in the on-deck circle, and Kike has been up 3 times and hit the ball hard 3 times for 3 singles.
So the dreaded leadoff walk.
Hernandez has only had 43 at bats this year since being called up, and he has yet to ground into a double play. The first one would look awfully good right here. Grossman 3 out of 3 in stolen bases.
First pitch strike. Crowd last night was terrific. Crowd tonight into this game as well. 28,210. Bunch just a bit, straight up. Pops him up. Deckham. So Kike is retired for the first time in a big out. So here's Gonzalez. Marwin is 1 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Takes low ball 1. If you're just tuning in, only 1 home run in the ball game, that by George Springer, and that was a bomb to right center field, leading off the 4th inning. Petrichka, 4th Sox pitcher. Noesi went 6, giving up 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 walk, couple of strikeouts. Guerra, Belisario, and now the Jake Meister. That's off Abreu, and everybody's going to be safe. So a bullet. And that'll be a base hit.
This is a rocket. Skips right off the grass and fortunately doesn't go further away. See that last skip, and Jose tried to come up with it, but it stayed down. Don Cooper now coming out to talk with Petrichka on what he wants him to do with Altuve. Last time up, Belisario pretty much with the game on the line. Struck him out with a great moving fastball in on his hands at 97, and Zach Putnam now getting loosened up.
So the leadoff walk is at second. Gonzalez at first.
Altuve has grounded into 10 double plays despite his speed. That is second on the team in that department.
Takes first pitch strike. Now Altuve has faced Jake twice. He has one hit. Chops that one foul. Mustache Patrick will make that play. Oh, and 2 the count. Good job by Tyler. Just keeping it front.
Tyler Flowers saw to it that a fly ball couldn't tie the score, as he flipped that ball right out in front of him. And Grossman, knowing he had no chance.
So man right there you're looking at, leading the major league in hits with 133. Chops it foul.
Looks like he broke his bat, and he'll have to go back and get another.
One out, 2 on. Top of the 9th, we lead at 4-3. He gone. 2 out.
Twice Altuve in key situations striking out. Swinging in the 7th, looking here in the 9th. Good fastball, good late movement. Altuve down on strikes again. And that's going to be it for Petrichka. Robin wants Putnam to face Castro.
Great pitcher's pitch right there by Jake. So he will depart. 2 down, 2 on, top of the 9th. Putnam comes on, and we'll be back.
Us in for White Sox Postgame Live, presented by Subaru. Get the recap on tonight's game and all the action around the league. Don't miss White Sox Postgame Live tonight, right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet. So for the second night in a row, Zach Putnam coming on to try to nail down a save. He picked up his second save of the year last night. On for the 32nd time, the ERA 2.43, the record 3-1. But he's looking for save number 3, and this his 4th opportunity. He's got to face Jason Castro with 2 on and 2 out.
Castro 0 for 3 with an intentional walk tonight. So he has concluded his warm-up tosses, and here we go once again. Last night, Sox won it 3-2. Tell you might beat these Astros, but you can be too tired to celebrate. These guys give you everything you want.
Boy, they have.
They bring it right to you. For the most part, straight up. Bit of a gap out there in right center. So here we go. First pitch strike.
Got the inside corner of Castro. Talking to Brian O'Nora, but that pitch was a good one. Tyler knows better than anybody that when you have a pitcher that throws a lot of splitters, you got to go down and smother everything.
Well, Tyler's done a terrific job this year in keeping the ball in front. Tipped.
Very excited fandom, only to find that Castro got a stitch.
Chopper foul. Got to try to keep him out on that front foot. So the Sox in another nail biter put it away, and another excellent performance by the bullpen.
Did a terrific job tonight. Belisario once again, followed by Petricka and Putnam. They got the job done in another one-run win.
And let's check out our GMC Professional Grade Player of the game. It is Tyler Flowers. Tyler 3 for 3, 2 big RBIs, our GMC Professional Grade Player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angiu, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark Harper, For the mayor, Mean Joe Group, also the executive producer, Jim Cornell Jr., and for Frank D'Amato, Mike Mayer, Dennis Wood, Doug Bullard. This is a Hawk. So long, everybody. Coming up next, HOU Group Postgame Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.